Yes, children, moving to molecular orbital theory. Who proposed molecular orbital theory? It was proposed by the scientist Hunt and Millikan in the year 1932. So, what is the salient feature of molecular orbital theory? See, we know atom, surrounding the atom I have atomic orbitals. I have molecule, surrounding that I have molecular orbitals. So, this is what the aspect. Electrons in a molecule are represented in molecular orbit, like how electrons of atoms are present in the atomic orbitals. Okay. So we know electrons are revolving around the atom, which is represented in the atomic orbital, and for molecule it is represented into various molecular orbitals. Now the atomic orbitals of comparable energy and proper symmetry combine to form molecular orbitals. How molecule is formed? When two atoms combine together to give you a molecule. When two atomic orbitals combine together, when two atomic orbitals having a proper symmetry and energy, when they combine, I will be getting molecular orbital. Now, when an electron in atomic orbital is influenced by one nucleus, in case of molecular orbital, it is influenced by two or more nucleus depending upon the number of atom. You know, I have one hydrogen atom, so the electron present in that hydrogen atom will be influenced by that particular hydrogen nuclei. Suppose I have a hydrogen molecule, that is two hydrogen atom combined together to form you a hydrogen molecule. In that case, the electrons present in the orbital will be influenced by the nuclei of two hydrogen atom. So it depends upon the number of atoms which are present in a particular molecule. So an atomic orbital is monocentric while molecular orbital is polycentric, because a molecule is formed by the combination of atoms. So it is polycentric while atomic orbital is going to involve only one atom. So it is said to be monocentric. Now, when you look into the number of molecular orbitals formed, that should be equal to the number of combining atomic orbitals. When I combine two hydrogen atom, then I should be getting two hydrogen molecule, 2H combined to give you H2 molecule, correct? Yes. When two atomic orbitals combine, two molecular orbitals are formed. One is known as bonding molecular orbital and another one is called as anti-bonding molecular orbital. Say for example, one nitrogen atom combine to give you nitrogen molecule. In that nitrogen molecule, one should be bonding, another should be anti-bonding. So that's what is called as bonding orbital, and another one is anti-bonding molecular orbital. The bonding molecular orbital, when you look, it has got lower energy. If energy is less, then the stability is more. Minimum energy and lower stability. So minimum energy and lower stability. When you see anti-bonding molecular orbital, it has got higher energy, so stability is less. Okay. Now, as we know, the electron probability distribution around the nucleus is given by atomic orbital. Now, when you look into a molecule, it is given by molecular orbital. The same aspect, see an electron probability distribution around a nucleus of atom. So it is going to deal with nucleus of atom. So who is going to provide that information? That information is provided by atomic orbital. Now an electron probability distribution around a molecule, for that the information will be given by molecular orbital. Okay. Now the molecular orbitals, like atomic orbitals, they are filled like, they should follow Abba principle, they should follow Paulus exclusion principle, and they should follow Hund's rule. So they should, these are nothing but rules for filling the electrons in different shells, like we have seen in chapter 3. So the rules for filling the atomic orbitals, like how we filled atomic orbitals, in the same case molecular orbital also should be filled in this case only. They should follow these three aspects. These three rules should be satisfied. Now this is nothing but combination of formation of molecular orbital. That is how I can say linear combination of atomic orbital. What is this? LCAOA, linear combination of atomic orbitals. Now I told you the molecular orbital is formed by linear combination of atomic orbitals. I told you two atom combined together to give me molecule. Two hydrogen atom or two lithium atom combined to give me hydrogen molecule or lithium molecule. That should be in the form of linear. So this is formed by addition and by subtraction of wave function of individual atomic orbitals. So what is the formula for the formation of molecular orbital is formed by linear combination of atomic orbital. Now that is given by the wave function of atomic orbital A, wave function of atomic orbital E. B, this is nothing but your molecular orbital. Okay, A is representing atom A, B is representing atom B. This is wave function of atom A, this is wave function of atom B. What is MO? This is molecular orbital which is formed by combination of these two atom AB. So the two molecular orbitals I can represent one as psi and psi dash. This is nothing but your bonding orbital where there is a addition, and this is anti-bonding where there is subtraction. As I told you, in bonding energy is less, so stability is more. In anti-bonding energy is more, stability is less. Now see, the molecular orbital that is psi formed by addition is called as bonding molecular orbital, and which is formed by subtraction is called as anti-bonding molecular orbital. We have discussed this. This is the picture where formed by addition and the other formed by, see now this is the thing which is formed by addition and this is the thing which is formed by subtraction. Okay, two things are merged here and two things are subtracted here. And in the formation of bonding molecular orbital, two electron waves of bonding atoms reinforce each other due to the constructive interference. I told you how bonding molecular orbital is formed by the combination of two atomic orbitals, that is psi A and psi B. So here what happens, they are going to reinforce each other's wave function. As a result, a constructive interference happens. But what in case of antibonding, you can tell it in case of opposite way. Here the electron waves cancel each other, as a result leading to destructive interference. This leads to destructive interference. So this is also a same phenomena. Bonding molecular orbital, lower energy than either of the atomic orbitals that have combined to form. But when you look into anti-bonding molecular orbital, that is destabilized. Why? Because its energy is more. This is because of the mutual repulsion of electrons in this orbital. The repulsion is more than the attraction. That is the case, there is an increase in energy. I told you, in bonding molecular orbital energy is less. In anti-bonding orbital energy is more. Why energy is more? Because there is a repulsion between electrons in this orbit. More than the attraction, repulsion is happening. As a result, the energy is more. Okay, the net energy is more. Energy is more, stability is less. Now what is the combination of atomic orbital? I told you an hydrogen atom should combine. Means hydrogen atoms atomic orbital should combine to give me hydrogen molecular orbital theory. Now what are the conditions for the formation of this? Now step 1. When linear combination of atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbital, that will take place only in these conditions. What is the first condition? The combining atomic orbital must have same energy or nearly same energy. Like how we saw how orbital overlapping happens. No, same way the two atomic orbitals overlap. They should be possessing same energy or nearly same energy. Okay, means one s orbital will combine only with 1s orbital of another atom, not with the 2s orbital of another. Say for example, hydrogen atom 1s should combine with 1s, 2s should combine with 2s, and not in case 1s should combine with 2s or 2s should combine with 1s, because there is a difference in energy. So this should not happen. So first condition is they should possess same or nearly same energy. Now, the combination of atomic orbitals must have same symmetry about the molecular axis. The first aspect I told you, they should possess same energy. Second aspect I told you, they should be possessing same symmetry. I'll tell you an example here. Say for example, 2pz orbital should combine with 2pz orbital of another atom, but it should not combine with px or py. Px should combine with px only. Py should combine with Py only. Px should not combine with Pz or something like that. Why? Because atomic orbitals having same or nearly same energy will not combine if they do not have same symmetry. Correct? No, if the symmetry is not same, they won't combine. So what did they say? Pz should combine with Pz orbital but not with Px or Py because they have different symmetry. How I told you, 1s should combine with 1s only. Similarly, Px should combine with Px only. Otherwise, symmetry is different. If energy is different, no combination. If symmetry is different, no combination. Now, what is the third condition? The atomic orbital must overlap to the maximum extent. This is what I was explaining about in sigma bond formation, because when there is a maximum overlapping between head-on-head collision along the internuclear axis, then only when overlapping is more, then stability is more. If overlapping is less, then stability is less. They should overlap to the maximum extent. Greater the overlap, then greater the electron density between the nuclei of the molecular orbital. Now, this molecular orbital, I am going to explain this